Wait, what? Harvard, America's academic gold standard, just got hit with a jaw-dropping demand from the Trump administration: turn over thousands of employee records or face massive financial fallout. They're pointing fingers, claiming Harvard's campus is a breeding ground for visa abuse and unrest. But is this about protecting the nation or a political chess move to control universities? A $500 million deal might be in play, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Welcome to Libo News, where we cut through the noise, flip every angle, and unpack the truth for you. Let's dive into this 10-minute deep dive and figure out what's really at stake. Harvard University, the dream destination for scholars worldwide, is now in a high-stakes standoff with the Trump administration. The Department of Homeland Security, DHS, has issued a notice of inspection demanding I-9 forms, employment eligibility records, for nearly 19,000 Harvard staff members. That's everyone from professors to cafeteria workers. The administration claims this is about accountability, with Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem stating that Harvard has allowed foreign students to misuse visas and promote violence and terrorism on campus. Those are heavy accusations, but let's hit pause and ask, what's driving this? Is it a legitimate crackdown or something else entirely? Here's the context. This clash didn't come out of nowhere. For months, the Trump administration has been at odds with Harvard, pushing for changes like limiting campus activism and ending diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. The tension spiked after last year's pro-Palestinian protests, which the administration labeled as fostering anti-Semitism. In response, they've already cut $2.6 billion in Harvard's research grants, terminated federal contracts, and even floated revoking the university's tax-exempt status. That's a massive system. Harvard's clash with the Trump administration, a balanced deep dive. Hold on to your seats. Harvard University, the pinnacle of American academia, is locked in a high-stakes battle with the Trump administration, facing demands to hand over thousands of employee records amid accusations of enabling visa abuse and campus unrest. Is this a necessary crackdown on compliance or a politically charged move to rein in universities? With a potential $500 million settlement on the table, the outcome could reshape higher education. Welcome to Libo News, where we peel back the layers, examine every perspective, and deliver the unfiltered truth. Let's unpack this 10-minute story with clarity and balance. Harvard, a global symbol of academic excellence, is in the crosshairs of the Trump administration. The Department of Homeland Security, DHS, has issued a formal request for I-9 forms, mandatory employment eligibility documents, for nearly 19,000 Harvard staff, from professors to support workers. DHS, led by Secretary Kristi Noem, claims this is about rooting out visa abuses by foreign students and addressing alleged advocacy for violence and terrorism on campus. These are serious allegations, first reported by the Boston Globe, but the situation is far from black and white. Is the administration enforcing federal law or using it as leverage in a broader conflict? Let's set the stage. This dispute has been brewing for months. The Trump administration has pressed Harvard to curb campus activism and dismantle diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) initiatives, citing concerns about anti-Semitism tied to pro-Palestinian protests last year. To up the ante, they've slashed $2.6 billion in research grants, ended federal contracts, and threatened Harvard's tax-exempt status, a move that could cripple the university's finances, despite its $52 billion endowment. Harvard, in turn, has pushed back with lawsuits to protect its funding and international student programs. It's a clash of titans, academic autonomy versus government oversight. Now, let's look at Harvard's side. The university acknowledges the DHS request, but is holding firm on not releasing I-9 records for students in campus-specific roles, citing the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, FERPA, which protects student data. Harvard's email to staff, as reported, emphasizes ensuring DHS handles records securely and uses them only for legal purposes. This stance raises questions. Is Harvard safeguarding student privacy and academic freedom, or delaying compliance to navigate a complex situation? Federal law requires I-9 forms to verify work eligibility, and DHS is within its rights to inspect them, so Harvard's pushback walks a fine line. On the other hand, the administration's position is equally layered. Noem's statement to Newsweek frames the demand as a last resort. We tried the easy way with Harvard. Now, through their refusal to cooperate, we have to do things the hard way. The claim that Harvard allows visa abuse or promotes violence is contentious, tied to broader accusations of unchecked campus activism. President Trump amplified this on Truth Social, calling Harvard, quote, anti-Semitic, anti-Christian, and anti-American, and criticizing a federal judge overseeing Harvard's lawsuit against the funding cuts. These are bold claims, but public evidence linking student protests to terrorism remains limited, raising questions about the administration's motives. Is this about enforcing compliance or settling ideological scores? Money talks, and the numbers here are staggering. Columbia University recently settled a similar dispute, paying $200 million to resolve allegations of federal anti-discrimination violations and restore $400 million in grants, per the New York Times. Harvard, reportedly open to spending $500 million to end this standoff, faces a dilemma. That's enough money to fund cutting-edge research or thousands of scholarships. Paying up could signal capitulation, but fighting on risks further financial hits. The choice isn't just Harvard's. It could set a precedent for universities nationwide. What's the bigger picture? This isn't just about paperwork. It's a tug-of-war between academic independence and government authority. Harvard's defending its values: free expression, diversity, and global collaboration. The administration argues it's protecting national interests and campus safety. Both have valid points. Universities must comply with federal law, but heavy-handed tactics, like threatening tax status, can feel like overreach. If Harvard settles, will it embolden similar moves against other schools? If it resists, can it withstand the financial pressure? The outcome remains unclear. Harvard's weighing its legal options, and negotiations with the administration could drag on. Meanwhile, the debate rages. Is this a necessary audit or a political maneuver to control academia? We want to hear from you. Is Harvard standing up for principle or dodging accountability? Drop your thoughts in the comments and hit that like and subscribe button for more balanced, in-depth breakdowns. This is Libo News, where we don't pick sides, we dissect them. Stay curious, and we'll catch you in the next one.